awful lot of time and effort to try to get them some more votes, to be that positive voice. Come on, guys, let's look at the good things that they can do, and let's get them there, and let's get us more of a majority. And then now they're there, and they aren't on my side. What?
But it's December still.
And I mean, here, go ahead.
I understand that.
I'm just saying that.
Be on my side because I'm sending them reinforcements.
It sounds like one of the things that
reinforcements aren't there yet. The reinforcements aren't there yet, and that's the. We have to remember the situation on the ground, as it is, not how we want it to be, and we're going. That's the mind-boggling thing about all of this is the fact that we aren't even in the 2015 legislative session yet, and we're already starting this. Oh my God, let's panic. Let's
no, but there are ways that they can still be the minority, but like me. They're not acting like they like me, and that they're trying to make me happy.
Perhaps what we need.
It comes back to the communication thing.
If I may, it sounds like what we need to do at a grassroots level is actually start passing out copies of how to win friends and influence people to the Tea Party people. And I don't mean that in a snide or snarky way. I actually mean that in a sincere way. To go back, what you said is you need to be nice. Just because you're nice doesn't mean that you roll over. And I want our listeners to understand that is that you're not rolling over. Sometimes what you do is you do things that get people to move in the direction that you want them to because of how you treat them. And perhaps what we need to do is step back and say, okay, I want the Republican leadership to move in this direction, and the yelling at them hasn't been working, so perhaps what I need to do is go to the tried and true way that does work, which is a book that has stood the test of time, which is How to Win Friends and Influence People. Go back, read it, and digest it and say, okay, how can I apply this to the political process so that my Republican leadership, says, yeah, that's the direction we want to go. Because now they want to work with us rather than fighting us.
The question is, how do I get what I want? Ultimately, the question is, how do I get what I want? Given what's going on the ground, given the changing political situation we're about to go into, how do I get what I want? And you should be asking yourself that question all the time. And you are not, in fact, going to get everything that you want, but you want to have the best possible chance of getting what you want. And there are ways to work for that are effective. There are ways that work against you when you employ them. And tactically, even down at our level, at the grassroots level, we have to think strategically.
Absolutely. And here's another thing that I just want to point out. I'm not saying that we shouldn't primary John Boehner. I'm not saying that at all. That's something that isn't something that we can do this second, though. Right now, we can't get rid of John Boehner. It's very likely that he's going to be no. I think it's already done. I think he's pretty much going to be the Speaker of the House. It's it. Thankfully, Congress critters have 2-year terms. So there you go. If you wanna put if this was the last straw, then I expect to see a ton of money from around the country going in and flooding Ohio, whatever district he's in, to get him out. We got rid of Eric Cantor. David Brad is there. So apparently that's something that we can do. So the other thing that we need to remember is that there's a time and place to get rid of these guys. Right now is not that time, and we can be upset about stuff that they're doing, and we can complain about it, and we can talk to our representatives about it and say, hey, that's not how I want it to go down. But when it comes to Speaker Boehner, he is in office still. We can get rid of him, and we should. I mean, I'm not a fan of the guy. I like Mitch McConnell much more than I like John Boehner. But that's
not
later.
Really a high bar to get over there either.
That's true. That's true. But that's
you're over.
But that's what I'm saying, is that there's a time and place for this stuff, and getting rid of him is not an option right now. It's not something that we can do conceivably. So there are going to be good things that come out of this next legislative session. There absolutely are. There are going to be great fights. There are going to be stuff that we can win on and stuff that we can get to the president that is going to make him damn uncomfortable.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. And I think all of us are on both sides of all of these issues. I know I am. I totally see JD's position, and I totally see everybody else. I see the angry position, and I'm angry too, and I'm tired of them. I'm tired of fighting for them and them fighting against me. They don't always fight against me, but they do it way too much. Or I hear about it, that they're doing it too much, and that's because they're crap at communicating. And they're professional political people, and they can't communicate for crap. And the other big thing that I've got going on right now is that JD's lighting is going in and out, at least for me, and so it looks like there's a disco ball going on, because sometimes he's like bright white and sometimes he's warm. It's like the Google effect thing. It's awesome.
That's my disco ball. It's
the disco ball.
Yeah.
All right.
It's awesome. His 70s throwback era. The 70s throwback era. I love it. It's awesome.
It's totally cool, and it's making me happy. And what's something else that's making me happy? This is a much lamer segue. What's something else that's making me happy? $2 gas. Let's talk about $2 gas. Felicia, you're up.
Oh my stars. Okay, so everybody has noticed that that gas prices have come down. It's been this story in the media for a lot. We can definitely lay that a lot at the feet of the success of fracking. We've boosted our production a whole bunch. I really wish Corey were here. She could speak to this much better than I can. But suffice it to say, coming into the Christmas season, consumers have a lot more money in their pocket because it's not going into their gas can, their gas tanks of their cars anymore. And this is a great thing, that you think extra Christmas presents, you're thinking, maybe a little extra trip to see, a couple extra days to go see the family during the holidays, whatever it is. But people have more money in their pockets. They got more walking around money, as it were. And it's because these guys in the petroleum industry have done some amazing work. They have boosted output so much. The Saudis are worried. Everything, all the good things that are coming from this are just enormous. And then we get this perspective from sfgate.com, which is...
And that's San Francisco, right?
Imagine so, okay? And the
it just sounds like granola, doesn't it?
It's so crunchy, it's not funny. The title of this piece is called $2 Gas is the Worst Thing to Happen to America. I want everybody to just soak that up for a second.
The worst thing of all the bad things that have ever happened to America. Ever. $2 gas. Totally the worst. Totally, man. Like, for sure.
Completely.
I mean, slavery was bad, but this way worse.
This will
December
not
7th, 1941 kind of sucked. I mean, it rained in a few places, but this $2 gas thing, man, that's crap.
9/11, just to walk in the
Jimmy Carter administration.
Awful.
Nothing.
So is it bad because all of a sudden, it's going to be easier for people to get to the grocery store with a little bit less money? Is it bad that people are going to be able to get to the hospital for needed treatments with
they can
a little
buy
bit
more
less
stuff
money?
At Walmart, which makes Walmart successor, and that's bad.
Oh,
Yes,
it's not bad.
yes, you guys, you clearly, since you're not on a coast like I am, you don't understand this. You plebes don't understand the concept of environmentalism and the fact that if people are driving,
educate the plebes, educate the plebes.
Yes, thank you. I can't even understand what you're saying because you're from Texas. The thing is that if people have more money and have better access to gas, to fuel, they're driving around, and that increases their carbon footprint, and that means that they're less likely to try and buy energy efficient vehicles and stuff that technically also burns fossil fuels because they need to power the electric plants somehow, but we don't really think about that too much. There are windmills involved.
Here's what the article says. When gas prices skyrocket, we adapt in all the right ways. We drive less, we ride share more, we telecommute, we walk to work, we get out of our cars and back into the more connected social flow. Alternative transportation gained tremendous support, and people begin to think differently for the better. And then you skip down in this article, and here is what they suggest. Here's an even more awesomely helpful and radical idea than increasing the gas tax just a little. Increase it $5 per gallon. Hell, make it $6. All of it earmarked for alternative energy and transport, environmental protections, our busted educational system, our multi-trillion-dollar debt. Yes, let's double, no, triple the price of gas right now so that we can do these things that we are already kind of up into our ears and hock for doing, but we want to do more of them. So let's make it more impossible for the poorest and the lowest income people to get around, do things, have a little more groceries in their cart or more presents under their tree. Screw that. Just jack up the prices 3 times as much. Because reasons.
Listen, without these high gas prices, okay, and this is really the crux of what the article is about, okay, if there were high gas prices, the author of this article wouldn't have the money to be able to go visit their relatives. But now with $2 gas, they have no excuse to be able to say, oh, you know what? I can't make it there for the holidays. So really, that's the crux of what this article's about. I know it's not written in there, but that's the subtext. Since we're on the right and we're really good at reading tea leaves, I just thought I'd say that's what this is really about.
So Pajama Boy doesn't want to have to drive home for Christmas, is what you're saying, and have his mom
pretty much
getting his own place, buying a house, and marrying that girl that he's been living with for years.
Exactly. And by the way, I would just like to say, I, for one, even though I'm from Texas and I'm just, a proly, I support more Cylindras. I think that we should fund more companies that go bankrupt, because the environment and everything.
I think we should all eat more meat, not chicken, because that means we have to breed more cattle, and cow farts are what really cause global warming.
No.
No?
No, because that takes us back to the cromnibus, because that's not in there. The EPA wanted that. They took it out. It's one of the there you go. You found the one good thing about the cromnibus.
Bovine flatulence.
Bovine flatulence is out. It's out of there. No
so
more.
Cow farts are okay then.
They can't regulate cow farts.
Oh my God! Unregulated cow farts. The world is coming to the end. So this
that
really
has
is
got to be
the worst thing that ever happened to America. The worst thing.
That has got to be a band name. Unregulated cow flatulence.
I sense a hashtag.
Yes. And, well, Chandra really hits the actual point. High gas prices create a bigger divide between the haves and the have-nots, and that's what's really important. Because when gas prices are low, poor people can go places that the rich people go. And we don't want poor people in our shops. I think the guy who writes this article is concerned that there are going to be some poor people that can afford Starbucks now. And he's used to going to Starbucks and only seeing fellow hipsters like him and not having to mingle with the great unwashed.
Unless they're across the counter.
Amen, Leslie. Thank you for that. That's exactly what I meant. You said it better, but that's precisely what I meant.
Yeah,
Starbucks.
they don't want, and I shop at Walmart on a regular basis. I'm the kind of person that this SF Gate guy doesn't want to have to see and